Hello everyone and welcome to another video about Eador, and this time we will have a quick look at the very late game. The reason why I'm doing this video are some posts on forums on the same theme where people are asking questions like I have found Cult of the Dragon, Cult of the Phoenix, Cult of whatever, and I don't know how to beat it, it's too strong, can anybody help me? And also some people were asking me which builds I'm using for the very late game and for the hardest tier 4 fights. So I was thinking how to address all these things fast enough. I would like to make detailed guides for all the heroes and all the hardest fights you can find on maps of Eador, but I don't have time to make all these videos fast enough. So I've decided that I will show you one turn from my off-camera campaign where I'm already in the late game, so uh, it will be some kind of let's say inspiration for you how you can build your heroes for these fights, and you will see which heroes I'm using in the late game. We are on the big shard, it's really quite late in the game, maybe turn like 400. I've been testing many things here, so I've stayed for a while, and also I found some bugs in the latest patch. So that's the explanation why I'm so long on the shard. I am running 4 heroes here. The AI, I've defeated all AIs except one. I have that one surrounded in its capital. So like this I have time to run around the map and explore and test all things I need. From 4 heroes I'm running, Scout is only exploration bot. You can see that he's only level 10. I really needed exploration bot for this map, and Scout was obvious choice. He's the best class for this, so I've sacrificed him for this role. So I have to disappoint all of you who want to see tier 4 fight with a Scout. It's not gonna be in here, but I promise I will show you that fight in some of my future videos, because really I want to show all heroes in late game. Other heroes are strong enough now for these fights, so for other 3 heroes we will see these fights. I will quickly talk about each of those heroes. First will be a warrior, already level 30. Build is Death Knight, which is warrior wizard hybrid. You have already seen how I'm building my Death Knight, so strong skills from the warrior side, and from the wizard side everything that improves my resistance, increases amount of spells I can get, improves my spell power, and increases the duration of buffs, because this whole build is about buffing yourself to be as strong as possible. Here you can check spells which I'm using, and I will quickly mouse over my gear. I will do it fast. If you want to see it for a bit longer, just pause the video and you can check whatever item you want to see for longer. Now, ruby rings, diamond ring, conjurer's ring. Here's some nice boots, belt, bracers, because I'm running warrior wizard hybrid. I can use wands and spheres, so those are here. My main weapon with shield, I would say that using one hand and shield is a bit better for really hard fights, because you get more defense, and that's quite important versus hard hitting opponents. Really nice gloves, necklace, helmet. I didn't find anything better than this helmet, so this is definitely something I could improve. Armor, I have a better armor here with better defense, but I'm using still this one for the +3 attack, which I think is really decent on armor. And the cloak here I have some weapons in reserve in case I need to change my gear for some fights, so I'm keeping some items. But I would say this is enough for the that knight and fight. He will be fighting, will be here, and it will be dragons. That knight is really awesome versus these fast moving, hard hitting opponents. Usually other heroes have problems with that, so I'm always using a warrior for these fights, like dragons, vampires, huge packs of ghosts, medusas, fast-moving range units like big packs of centaurs. All these things are really easy target for a good warrior, but he has also some weaknesses, and probably the biggest weakness for a warrior are armies with spiders, because spiders can make even like 1 or 2 spiders can make your warrior a practice dummy for the opponent army just with one web. There is no way how to get immunity to webs, so spiders are a huge problem, and for a long time also armies with many poisonous units like big pack of giant slugs are also big problem for a warrior, at least until you find something that gives you poison immunity, like a phoenix cloak or full set of basilisk armor. Okay, that's for that knight. The second hero is here. It's a commander built as a strategist, so it's a commander scout hybrid. I went for this because I've been testing range commander a bit more here, so the typical build for this from the commander side, most important range tactics. Here more survivability, more defense, and here more morale, also important, more initiative, more stamina, all these typical things. From the uh, scout side, it's pathfinding for a better movement, and for some bonuses you can get from terrain knowledge. To boost the damage of my hero, I'm using marksmanship and reaction, because the damage from the hero is really important. He is not a support in this army, he is another hard-hitting range unit, because this build doesn't have access to too many spells. So the better way, or the best way how to use him is really boost his range attack as much as possible. His army, uh, this build I was testing, I really like it, and it's heavy crossbowman with I bought one elf I found as a mercenary, 4 horsemen, 1 spider, 1 cleric, 1 monk, and phoenix with the hydra. I have to say that for this build I would prefer to have 2 phoenixes, because hydra is too small, or if I had access to that spell I would use 1 haste, so the hydra would be able to go uh, much faster to the opponent's army, but maybe you won't believe it, but I didn't find haste in 400 turns. For my gear, let's just quickly go through that. These rings, I don't even know why I have Necromancer's ring. I probably just gave him these rings early in the game because I didn't have anything else and forgot to switch that. So really crappy, but I would say you have an idea how to replace this. Belt, also I didn't find better belt for this build. Weird, but it happened. Boots from unicorn set, some decent bracers, really nice bow and really nice arrows. Shield, I'm using this, I have better shields, but usually anything or opponent units can't get close to me, so I was only focusing on the damage of the hero and wasn't switching these defensive items. I didn't need it that much. Dragon Pennant, a really nice banner, and from the rest I'll just mouse over it so you can see what I'm using. This amulet is really awesome for this army, and Lordly Gloves to lower the upkeep of the army, because it's really crazy. If we check units, only Phoenix has upkeep of 400, so you can imagine how much this army costs. So that's another hero, and he will be fighting Cult of the Phoenix. And the last one is my wizard. So finally, many of you wanted to see at least something about the wizard, so here is build. I was testing here a bit, and I really like this build. It's a summoner archmage. Archmage is uh, a wizard who on level 10 just continues with the wizard path, so you can get to level 5 of your skills because he is a summoner. He has level 5 summoning, and one thing I should probably mention, as Archmage on level 20 you have you get a skill that you can cast 2 spells per turn, so super strong for summoner. You can cast 2 spells and summon 2 units in 1 turn. Other skills, more spell power, more spells, Wand Master. Sometimes you need to do some damage with your hero, and because we have many spells on high tier which are summoning, we don't have that many hard hitting spells, so I'm using my hero as a strong range unit, and he's not leveled enough yet. He's only level 24, so I don't have concentration and thaumaturgy finished yet. From these two, the priority now is concentration to increase the duration for buffs, because I really want my dragon form to last as long as possible. Thaumaturgy, of course, you really want to avoid as much resistance as possible on opponent targets. From my gear, again, I will mouse over it. Full set of Germans of Incarnation. Here boost to summoning power, another boost to spell power here, Sphere of Eternity. Wand could be better, but I didn't find anything better Archmage stuff. And here I'll just mouse over this. So that's for our gear. For our army, I'm using many casters because they have quite decent buffs and debuffs, more debuffs than buffs. Curse, Fear, Vulnerability, Slow from the Magician, and 1 tier unit, and that's Hydra for this. It doesn't work as well as it should because I don't have access to 1 haste. I would replace 1 magic arrow with that haste so that Hydra would be in fight much faster, but this build needs 1 strong unit you can have right from the start, and the Hydra I would say is the best, because when we check it, this one has 200 hit points already on level 2 and can do a lot of damage. And the most important thing for wizard, of course, are spells. On the lower tier there is nothing interesting from the summoning part. I really don't want to summon imps in late game, so I have some magic arrows if I need to do some extra damage. Astral energy, I'm using this for every hero. It's really useful. Cure wounds, just in case something needs 1 heal. Because I don't have any unit that would be able to heal in my army. Some AoE from fireballs, more focused damage from lightnings, Word of Life, that's for the Hydra for some overtime healing. And now we are getting to summons from tier 2, 1 Gargoyle. Not that useful, I've been using this a lot on lower levels, but sometimes it's useful in late game as well. And here the first important unit, Golem, can take quite a few hits, can debuff opponent units with his damage weapon or how that's called, Word of Ice in case we need to stop something, Mass Slow, obvious choice, we don't want the opponent army to get close to us, and from the tier 4, because we are a summoner, double summon Phoenix and dragon form, so we can have as many tier 4 units as possible and we want them fast. So this is built for the wizard and he will be fighting Cult of the Titan. And now we can end the turn and go quickly to those fights. I'm not gonna explain those fights too much. You will see what I'm doing. It will be quite obvious usually why I'm doing that. So only a few words about each fight. Here we can see 2 dragons, so it's possible to get more than 1 dragon in a location. I have seen like 4 dragons in one location, so that's probably the hardest thing. You can get multiple dragons, but warrior is exactly the hero specialized to fight these really tough packs, so let's attack. And you will see that it's actually not that hard if you spend some time on leveling and on gearing your hero. We shouldn't have any problems here, so let's start it and already start buffing our hero. First will be Vampirism, because it lasts 6 turns, and the second spell will be in Vulnerability. Really important spell, tier 4, for a Death Knight, because when fighting these armies we will be getting a lot of damage, and Vampirism won't be enough to keep us alive, so we have to increase our defenses as much as possible. Invulnerability doesn't mean that you are immune to damage, it just increases your armor and resistances significantly by 20. So now we are buffed enough and we can end the turn and go into fights. You can see that those dragons will try to avoid hitting us in melee after we do some damage to them. So it makes it a bit harder when you are fighting units which are capable only of melee fight. It's much faster because you can counter attack them. These guys will always fly away, spit at me, and I have to chase them around. But no problem. By the way, the crushing blow I'm using I have from my weapon. It's really quite useful. How are our buffs? One more turn. I think we need to do the damage. I would like to get rid of 1 dragon, so so we'll be taking damage only from 1. And now when our buffs are down, we really have to rebuff ourselves again. First I will go for Stone Skin again to buff my defenses a bit. Now we will start taking some damage, so let's take Vampirism to heal that. Another Astral Energy to regain some stamina, and go for the second guy. And just finish him. I was hoping that I can finish him without crushing blow, but he's down. They were level 4. By the way, if you fight Cult of the Dragon, there will be higher level dragon, but the fight is easier than 2 dragons. Some really nice loot. What is this? Bracelets of Might. You can check what the loot is doing, what the item is doing. And we can move on. Now it's time for the commander, so let's attack the Cult of the Phoenix. Here you can check my army, and let's start it. I would really like to weaken those elves. They can do quite a lot of damage, so I hope you'll be able to kill at least some of them. Elf can use his double shot. This guy can't reach anything. What about you? Nothing. But our horse archers have swiftness, which means they can move a bit, then shoot, and after that they can return back. So I will use that. Can I move one more turn? I can't, so I will just do some damage to this monk, and we were able to kill him even. That's nice. What about you? Uh, Let's finish the second monk. Go back. You can't move anywhere because of this hill or this mountain, and I think that this guy doesn't have the swiftness yet, so I will stay where he is. And the hero, what can we do with the hero? We can kill one cleric. And now end the turn, and we have to survive one hit from the phoenix. That's the only thing. By the way, the arrows I'm using with this with my hero allows me to summon a skeleton anytime I kill an opponent. So this is really helpful for this army, that that skeleton will delay everything. So you can see that all units stayed where they started. Most of them were shooting the skeleton, and it gives me more time with my range units to kill everything I need. But now the phoenix is close. We need healing for our horse archer who took the hit from the phoenix, and we can start doing damage to him, and I hope we'll be able to kill him in one turn. Okay, now it's time for the Hydra to finish, and he appears again after he died, so let's do more damage. And our phoenix can almost kill him, so let's just move hero a bit and finish with the shot from a hero. So that's for the phoenix, and that was the biggest threat. Now just end the turn, take a bit more damage, but they shouldn't be able to kill anything. Okay, I would say phoenix can start hitting their healers and range units. Our crossbows will start on their range units, heal up our hurt guys, and we can also do some damage to these unicorns. Now I would say it's time for our hero to finish the unicorn. You can move a bit closer and finish that elf. End the turn, and in the next turn we will finish these two monks. Okay, so that was Cult of the Phoenix. You can check the army, quite a high level, level 22 Phoenix. That's definitely a strong unit, really decent loot, and here some level ups: stamina, double attack, again Renver's bow, but we don't need that. Maybe I will give that to the scout. And let's move. This is the scout who finished exploring this province, and here is the cult of the Titan for our uh, Archmage. So let's attack. And this is the army, and because I've already seen this fight, I will change my positioning a bit so I don't lose unit. I would say like this, it should be fine. No, you can move like this. This is better. And start the fight. Then you can check the army. And the first thing is summon our strongest units. That was first Phoenix, second Phoenix. But before I'll do anything with him, I will weaken this guy a bit. First is a curse. Second, slow, just in case he decides to move around. Next will be which one doesn't have fear? You don't have fear, so you will use your vulnerability on him. And these two guys have fear, so let's work a bit on his morale. And now hit him with the Phoenix, so he is panicking. And for the rest, I would say we don't need to do anything, just move our Hydra a bit forward and end the turn. Now a bit of damage, but it shouldn't be a problem, we should survive with everything. A lot of them will focus on Phoenixes. Those Phoenixes will usually kill a lot of units, so you will lose some experiences, but it's fine. From these fights you will get enough experiences, so I usually don't care about that. If I see some easy last hit, I'm going for that, but I'm really not trying to somehow focus on that. It's really fine. Okay, next turn. Let's regain some stamina, because tier 4 spells really need a lot. And let's boost one of our guys a bit. Now he's a bit bigger, and join the fun. Our phoenixes can't do anything, so let's just move Hydra a bit forward. This really is not ideal fight for Hydra, because with low resistances these sorcerers can fear her quite easily. But in many fights this unit is extremely important. Now we can end the turn. By the way, I've noticed some changes in spells in this patch. I will talk about that in some other video, but they are quite significant. Like the form of the dragon now is not as strong as it used to be, because you can see that the unit changed into the dragon has quite low stamina and morale. It keeps the original stamina before all stats were changed into the dragon. So you had the dragon with like 40 morale and 40 stamina. Now it's only the amount which used to be there before you've changed that unit. And that's the reason why I probably have to retreat a bit, at least to this place. Now let's use another astral energy and keep summoning. This time it will be a golem, and start working on the giant and end the turn. Okay, now this guy can't do anything, and I have to be careful and kill everything around him before he changes back into his original form. Here it's time for Cure Wounds. And what else can we do? I would say Astral Energy and another golem. This guy is causing trouble. This guy can cause trouble. Let's kill the last shaman and do a bit of damage to the giant. Hydra will finish here, and these guys can kill this orc. So we are safe now. End the turn. Okay, one phoenix down, but he will rise from the ashes. You can attack him, finish this guy. Our hero can finish this golem and finish them off. Maybe we can get another last hit for our hero. No, we don't have any astral energies anymore, so let's just kill it this way. And he's down. Again, some decent loot. You can check levels of opponent units. Level ups, more hit points, more morale, counter attack for the Hydra, and here we have gloves of smashing, but we already have those. So, okay. And we are back on the map. Some events, but those are not important for the video. I hope you like this video. It's definitely not meant as a detailed guide. It's meant only as a quick look at the late game in case you need some inspiration. So I hope it helped. I hope you liked it. And I will be back soon with another part of the Let's Play. Until then, have a good time. See you in the next video and bye bye.